The secret to inner peace, ancient wisdom that still works today. Imagine this: you wake up in the morning, turn on the news, and within minutes, you're bombarded with stories of chaos, uncertainty, and division. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or even powerless in a world that seems to be spinning out of control. But what if there was a way to stay calm, resilient, and unshaken no matter what life throws at you? For centuries, some of the greatest minds in history, from Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius to former slaves like Epictetus, have practiced Stoicism, a philosophy built on one simple truth: we don't control what happens to us, but we do control how we respond. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and emotions, while letting go of unnecessary worry about the things we cannot change. This mindset is particularly powerful in today's fast-paced, uncertain world. One of the most important Stoic principles is having a clear purpose in life. Think of it like sailing a boat. Without a clear destination, you're at the mercy of the wind and waves. But when you know where you're going, obstacles become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. This isn't just about career goals, it's about defining the values that guide you every day. Stoicism also provides practical tools for handling stress and negativity. For example, instead of getting upset when someone criticizes you, ask yourself, is this criticism valid? If so, what can I learn? If not, why should I let it bother me? This shift in perspective can free you from unnecessary frustration. By embracing these timeless lessons, controlling your mind, accepting challenges, and living with purpose, you can build resilience, cultivate peace, and enjoy life with greater clarity. Stoicism isn't just ancient philosophy, it's a modern roadmap to a stronger, calmer, and more fulfilling life. Breaking free from society's expectations, the freedom of living life on your own terms. Do you ever wonder if you've been following a script you didn't write? From the moment we're born, society hands us a checklist. Go to school. Get a job. Get married. Have kids. Buy a house. Retire. This script has been passed down for generations, often without question. But as we reach our later years, many of us start wondering, did I really live the life I wanted, or did I just follow what I was supposed to do? If you've ever felt like parts of your life were dictated by tradition, family expectations, or societal pressure, you're not alone. The good news? It's never too late to live life on your own terms. The myth of the one right path. For decades, the American dream has been built around a specific idea of success: marriage, children, a house with a white picket fence, and a stable career. This model worked well for many people, but not for everyone. Some found deep fulfillment in family life, while others realized that marriage or children weren't the right fit for them. Some thrived in traditional jobs, while others longed for freedom and creativity. Yet, those who strayed from the conventional path were often met with judgment or raised eyebrows. But here's the truth: there is no single definition of a good life. A fulfilling life is not about checking off boxes, it's about finding purpose, happiness, and authenticity in your own way. Redefining purpose beyond marriage and parenthood. For many in past generations, getting married and having children wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. Those who chose a different path were often seen as unconventional or even selfish. But today, we have more freedom than ever to define our own purpose. Some people find deep meaning in raising a family, while others devote their lives to their careers, their passions, or their communities. Neither choice is superior, it's simply a matter of what aligns with your values. Even if you followed the traditional path of marriage and children, retirement offers a new chapter, a chance to redefine what brings you joy. Maybe you've always wanted to travel cross-country in an RV, start a small business, or dedicate time to a cause you care about. Now is the time to explore those dreams without guilt or hesitation. The courage to live unapologetically. One of the greatest regrets people express later in life is living for others instead of themselves. They stayed in careers they disliked, remained in relationships that no longer served them, or made decisions based on what others expected rather than what they truly wanted. But aging brings a unique gift: perspective. You've lived long enough to know that societal expectations change with time. What was once considered normal is now outdated. The real question is, what makes you feel alive today? Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." This means embracing your true self and not shaping your life around external validation. This could mean traveling solo, even if people say it's unusual for someone your age. Pursuing a passion or hobby, even if others don't understand it. Living alone by choice, without feeling the need to justify it. Saying no to things that drain your energy or don't bring you joy. By making these choices, you're not rejecting tradition, you're simply prioritizing what feels right for you. Overcoming the fear of judgment. One of the biggest barriers to living authentically is the fear of what others will think. Maybe you worry that family members won't understand your choices. Maybe you've been conditioned to believe that changing course later in life is too late. But let's be honest, people will always have opinions. And most of the time, those opinions are based on their own fears, insecurities, or conditioning, not on what's actually best for you. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic thinker, put it best: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This means recognizing that you can't control how others see you, but you can control how much their judgment affects you. And the reality is, once you start living for yourself, you'll likely find that most people respect your choices, or at the very least, they move on with their own lives. Embracing this chapter with excitement, not fear. For many people, retirement and later life are seen as a slowing down, a time to settle into routines and avoid risks. But why should that be the case? In reality, this chapter of life can be the most liberating of all. You no longer have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to follow anyone's timeline but your own. You can finally put yourself first. Instead of fearing change, embrace it as an opportunity. Learn something new: a language, an instrument, a skill you never had time for. Travel to places you've always wanted to see, whether it's a new city or a quiet retreat in nature. Express yourself through writing, painting, music, or anything that brings you joy. Prioritize health and well-being mentally, emotionally, and physically. The key is to see this stage as a beginning, not an ending. Final thoughts: your life, your rules. Whether you followed a traditional path or forged your own way, you now have the freedom to design this stage of life however you choose. You are not defined by your marital status, your career history, or society's outdated expectations. You are defined by how fully you embrace life, how much joy you cultivate, and how authentically you live each day. So, ask yourself, what do I truly want in this chapter of my life? Embracing independence, the power of living life on your own terms. Have you ever felt that true freedom comes from being in control of your own life? For decades, many of us followed a structured path, working hard, raising families, fulfilling responsibilities, and contributing to our communities. We were taught that life should be built around strong social ties, cooperation, and shared goals. While these values are important, there comes a point in life, often in our later years, when we start to ask, how much of my life is truly mine? As we age, the balance between autonomy and community becomes even more important. The desire to remain independent, make our own decisions, and shape our daily lives without unnecessary interference is natural. However, societal expectations often suggest that aging means relying more on others, family members, social programs, or retirement communities. But what if we challenge that notion? What if we embraced self-reliance and independence as key components of a fulfilling and meaningful life? The myth that aging means losing independence. One of the most common misconceptions about getting older is that it inevitably leads to a loss of autonomy. We're told that as we age, we should expect to be taken care of, depend more on family, and give up certain freedoms for the sake of convenience or safety. But for many, this is not the reality they want. In fact, many seniors today are healthier, more active, and more self-sufficient than any previous generation. Advances in medicine, technology, and lifestyle choices mean that we have more control over how we live than ever before. According to a recent study, over 75% of adults over 65 prefer to stay in their own homes rather than move into assisted living. Many continue working, pursuing hobbies, traveling, and living life on their own terms. Independence isn't something that disappears with age, it's something we must actively nurture and protect. So, what does it take to maintain and even strengthen our autonomy in our later years? Building a life of self-sufficiency and control. Living independently doesn't mean isolating yourself. Instead, it means taking charge of your own life, making decisions based on what's best for you, not just what others expect. Here's how you can cultivate greater autonomy and maintain control over your life. 1. Prioritize your health, your greatest asset. Good health is the foundation of independence. Staying physically active, eating well, and keeping up with medical care allow you to maintain mobility, cognitive function, and daily freedom. Engage in low-impact exercises like walking, swimming, or yoga to maintain strength and flexibility. Focus on a balanced diet rich in whole foods, protein, and healthy fats to sustain energy levels. Keep up with preventative healthcare, regular checkups, screenings, and staying informed about your health needs. A strong, healthy body is one of the best ways to ensure you can continue doing what you love without needing to rely on others. 2. Financial independence, planning for freedom. Financial security plays a crucial role in autonomy. Having control over your resources means you can make choices that align with your values rather than being forced into situations due to financial need. Assess your financial situation regularly and make necessary adjustments to your budget. Reduce unnecessary expenses to maintain long-term stability and security. Consider passive income sources, such as investments, rental properties, or part-time work, to sustain your financial independence. Being in control of your finances ensures that your decisions, whether it's where you live, how you spend your time, or the care you receive, are truly your own. Redefining community, choosing connection without dependence. Just because you value independence doesn't mean you don't need meaningful connections. The key is to build relationships based on mutual respect and shared interests, rather than obligation or dependence. 1. Maintaining meaningful relationships. Independence doesn't mean being alone, it means choosing who you surround yourself with. Strong relationships can enrich your life without compromising your autonomy. Stay connected with those who uplift and respect your choices, whether it's friends, neighbors, or family members. Engage in social activities that align with your interests, clubs, community groups, or volunteering. Limit interactions with people who drain your energy or pressure you into decisions you don't want to make. The right connections enhance your life rather than control it. 2. Living alone, but not lonely. Many seniors choose to live alone, and contrary to popular belief, this doesn't mean they're isolated. In fact, many find greater freedom and peace in having their own space while still actively engaging with the world around them. Embrace technology to stay connected through video calls, social media, and online communities make it easier than ever to interact with loved ones. Pursue hobbies and activities that bring joy: gardening, music, writing, or anything that fosters creativity. Travel and explore. Many retirees find adventure in solo travel, exploring new places, or even road tripping across the country. You can live alone without being lonely when you intentionally create a lifestyle filled with purpose and connection. Final thoughts: defining your own path. There's no single way to live a fulfilling life after 65. Some find joy in remaining deeply integrated in family life, while others embrace a more self-sufficient, independent lifestyle. Both are valid. The important thing is that your choices are truly yours. Being independent doesn't mean rejecting help, it means having the power to decide when and how you accept it. It means living with intention, surrounding yourself with people who respect your autonomy, and continuing to shape your own journey. So, whether you dream of staying in your home, traveling the world, or simply waking up every morning knowing that your day belongs to you, embrace it. You've spent a lifetime making choices. Now, more than ever, you deserve to make the ones that bring you joy and fulfillment. The world tells us that growing older means slowing down and relying on others. But we know the truth, it can be the most freeing, empowering time of our lives. Live boldly. Live independently. Live on your own terms. Finding flow, how to achieve inner peace and effortless living in your golden years. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything just clicked? Maybe it was while painting, gardening, or playing music. Those times when you became so immersed in what you were doing that time seemed to disappear. You felt focused, calm, and deeply engaged, without forcing anything. That feeling is called flow, and it's one of the most powerful ways to bring joy and fulfillment into your life. In our later years, finding flow becomes even more important. With fewer external pressures, no more 9-to-5 grind, no raising children, we finally have the chance to engage in activities that bring us true satisfaction. But many people struggle to enjoy this newfound freedom, feeling restless, anxious, or unsure about how to spend their time. The good news? Achieving flow isn't just for athletes, artists, or musicians, it's for everyone. And by understanding how it works, you can make every day feel more effortless, meaningful, and enjoyable. What is flow, and why does it matter? The concept of flow was first studied by psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who described it as a state of complete absorption in an activity. In flow, you feel fully present, challenges feel manageable, and your mind and body work together effortlessly. Think of a pianist lost in their music, a fisherman completely in tune with the rhythm of the waves, or a woodworker shaping a piece of cedar without thinking about every movement. In these moments, there is no stress, no overthinking, just pure engagement. For seniors, cultivating flow can provide a deep sense of purpose, reduce stress, and even improve cognitive function. Instead of feeling like time is slipping away, you can create experiences where you feel truly alive. But how do you get there? The 3 keys to achieving flow. 1. Engage in activities that challenge you but not too much. Flow happens in the sweet spot between boredom and frustration. If something is too easy, you get restless. If it's too hard, you feel discouraged. The key is finding just the right level of challenge, something that requires focus and skill but doesn't overwhelm you. For example, if you love puzzles, try one that's just a bit harder than your usual difficulty. If you enjoy writing, set a small but meaningful goal like writing a short memoir or a collection of life lessons for your grandkids. If you love gardening, experiment with growing a new type of plant that requires special care. The goal is to find activities that demand your attention but don't leave you feeling defeated. 2. Let go of overthinking and embrace Wu Wei, effortless action. In Taoist philosophy, there is a concept called Wu Wei, which means effortless action, the art of doing without forcing. It's about flowing with life instead of struggling against it. Think of a river, it doesn't push or resist, it simply moves naturally, adapting to obstacles while still reaching its destination. Many seniors struggle with stress because they feel pressure to stay productive or to fill their time with useful activities. But true fulfillment comes from allowing yourself to enjoy the present moment, not from forcing yourself to be busy. How to practice Wu Wei. When doing something you enjoy, focus on the process, not the outcome. For example, if you're painting, don't worry about making a masterpiece, just enjoy the brushstrokes. Avoid multitasking. Give your full attention to one activity at a time, whether it's cooking, walking, or even drinking a cup of coffee. Trust your intuition. If you feel drawn to an activity, follow that feeling instead of second-guessing yourself. By embracing effortless action, life becomes more peaceful and fulfilling, not because you're doing more, but because you're resisting less. 3. Cultivate a mindset of less is more. As we get older, we realize that happiness isn't found in having more, it's in appreciating what we already have. Flow thrives in simplicity. The fewer distractions, worries, or unnecessary commitments in your life, the easier it is to become fully immersed in what you're doing. How to simplify your life for more flow. Declutter your mind, limit negative news, avoid overcommitting, and let go of unnecessary worries. Decluttering your space in a simple, peaceful environment allows for deeper focus and enjoyment. Prioritize what truly matters, spend time doing things that bring you joy, rather than things you feel obligated to do. When you clear away distractions, you create space for deep, meaningful engagement with life. Flow and the secret to a life well lived. At its core, finding flow is about being fully present in the moment. It's about engaging in activities that bring you joy, letting go of unnecessary struggle, and embracing life as it comes. In a world that often glorifies busyness, retirement is your chance to slow down and savor life not in a passive way, but in a deeply engaged, intentional way. So ask yourself, what activities make me lose track of time? When do I feel most present and at peace? How can I create more of those moments in my daily life? Once you start prioritizing flow, you'll notice that life feels richer, more meaningful, and filled with effortless joy. Because at the end of the day, happiness isn't about doing more, it's about being more. The strength of letting go, how acceptance brings peace in your golden years. What if the key to a happier life was simply letting go? We spend much of our lives trying to control things: our careers, our families, our health, and even the way others perceive us. But as we age, we begin to realize a profound truth: many things are beyond our control. And the harder we try to hold on, the more stress, frustration, and disappointment we create for ourselves. What if, instead of resisting life's changes, we embraced them? What if we found peace not in control, but in acceptance? In both Stoic philosophy and mindfulness practices, acceptance is seen as one of the most powerful tools for inner peace. By learning to accept life as it is, not as we wish it to be, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Instead of struggling against reality, we learn to flow with it, allowing us to experience more joy, clarity, and emotional freedom. The power of accepting what you can't control. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple but profound idea reminds us that while we can't control external events, we can control how we respond to them. What does this mean in daily life? You can't control aging, but you can embrace it with grace. Rather than mourning lost youth, focus on the wisdom, freedom, and perspective that come with age. You can't control what others think of you, but you can live authentically. Instead of worrying about people's opinions, spend your time and energy doing what brings you joy. You can't change the past, but you can choose how you carry it forward. Instead of dwelling on regrets, focus on the lessons you've learned and the memories you cherish. By letting go of what we can't change, we lighten our emotional load and create space for peace and contentment. Why resistance creates suffering. Many of life's greatest frustrations come from wanting things to be different than they are. Aches and pains remind us that our bodies aren't what they used to be. Instead of resisting this reality, we can focus on caring for our bodies with gentle exercise, good nutrition, and gratitude for what they can still do. Loved ones may make decisions we disagree with. Instead of trying to control them, we can accept their choices while still offering support and love. The world changes in ways we don't always like. Instead of longing for the way things used to be, we can adapt and find new ways to engage with life. Fighting reality doesn't change it, it only creates stress. Acceptance, on the other hand, allows us to respond thoughtfully and find peace in any situation. How to practice acceptance in everyday life. 1. Reframe your perspective. When faced with something difficult, try asking, is this something I can control? If not, let it go. What can I learn from this experience? Every challenge has a lesson. How can I make peace with this situation? Sometimes, acceptance is the only way forward. Shifting from resistance to curiosity helps us approach life with greater wisdom and calm. 2. Focus on gratitude. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, it means appreciating what you do have. Each day, take a moment to recognize the things that bring you joy. The warmth of the sun on your skin. A heartfelt conversation with a friend. The simple pleasure of a good meal. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's missing to what's present, helping us cultivate peace and happiness. 3. Let go of perfectionism. Life is imperfect, and so are we. Holding ourselves to unrealistic standards only leads to frustration. Instead of striving for perfection, strive for balance, growth, and self-compassion. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Be kind to yourself, just as you would be to a dear friend. Celebrate progress, not perfection. By embracing imperfection, we open the door to greater joy and freedom. Final thoughts: the strength of letting go. Contrary to what many believe, acceptance is not weakness, it's strength. It takes courage to face reality as it is, to let go of the illusion of control, and to trust in life's natural flow. When we accept rather than resist, we free ourselves from unnecessary worry and disappointment. We make room for joy, presence, and deep contentment. So, the next time you find yourself clinging to something you can't change, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what if I just let go? You might just find that in surrender, there is peace. Resilience and inner strength: how to overcome life's challenges with grace. What if you had the power to handle any challenge life throws at you? Life is full of ups and downs. Some challenges come suddenly, like losing a loved one, facing a health diagnosis, or experiencing financial strain. Others creep up slowly, such as adjusting to retirement, dealing with loneliness, or navigating an ever-changing world. But no matter the obstacle, one thing remains true: you have the power to decide how you respond. For centuries, Stoic philosophy has taught that true strength doesn't come from controlling the world around us, but from mastering our own minds. The ancient Stoics such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus believed that resilience is a skill, one that can be cultivated through the way we think, act, and approach life's difficulties. As we enter our later years, resilience becomes even more valuable. It allows us to embrace change, find peace in uncertainty, and maintain a sense of purpose regardless of the challenges we face. So, how can we build inner strength and navigate life's inevitable storms with grace? 1. Control what you can, let go of what you can't. One of the greatest sources of stress comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. We worry about how our children live their lives, about world events, about the passing of time. But the truth is, many things are beyond our control, and resisting this fact only leads to frustration. Instead of focusing on things you can't change, shift your energy to what you can. Your mindset, how you interpret and respond to events. Your actions, the choices you make each day. Your attitude, whether you approach life with fear or with courage. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When we stop fighting reality and instead work with what we have, we unlock a sense of peace and control. 2. Turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. Difficulties in life are unavoidable. But what if every challenge was actually an opportunity in disguise? Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow stronger because of this? What new path might this challenge lead me to?" For example, if a health issue limits certain activities, perhaps it's an opportunity to explore new hobbies or focus on self-care. If you feel disconnected from loved ones, maybe it's a chance to build new friendships or deepen relationships in new ways. If retirement has left you feeling uncertain, you might take it as a sign to explore passions you never had time for. Difficulties do not define us, our response to them does. 3. Strengthen your mind through daily practices. Just like muscles, resilience and inner strength grow with regular use. Here are 3 simple ways to train your mind for greater strength and peace. 8. Practice gratitude. Every day, take a moment to appreciate the good in your life. It could be a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a kind conversation with a friend, the simple pleasure of a sunny day. Focusing on what's good rewires your brain for resilience, making it easier to face challenges with a balanced perspective. B. Engage in mindfulness and reflection. Mindfulness isn't just meditation, it's about being fully present in the moment. Instead of worrying about the future, focus on the present. Instead of dwelling on the past, embrace what is happening right now. Take slow, deep breaths when stress arises, allowing yourself to reset. Stoic philosophers often reflected on their day before bed, asking, "What did I do well today? What could I improve?" This simple practice keeps the mind sharp and focused on growth. C. Keep learning and challenging yourself. A resilient mind is an active mind. Keep your brain engaged by reading books on subjects that interest you, learning new skills, such as painting, music, or even technology, engaging in thoughtful discussions with friends and family. The more you challenge yourself, the more adaptable and strong your mind becomes. 4. Surround yourself with support and positivity. While resilience is about inner strength, we don't have to do it alone. Seek out relationships that uplift you, spend time with people who encourage and inspire you. Limit exposure to negativity, this includes toxic relationships, constant bad news, or negative self-talk. Engage in meaningful communities, whether it's a book club, a church group, or volunteering. Surrounding yourself with purpose-driven people helps build resilience. The people we spend time with shape our mindset. Choose connections that help you grow, rather than those that drain your energy. 5. Accept change as a natural part of life. Aging, loss, unexpected changes, these things are difficult, but they are also part of life's natural rhythm. When we resist change, we suffer. When we accept it, we find peace. The Stoics had a practice called premeditatio malorum, mentally preparing for difficulties before they happen. This doesn't mean expecting the worst, it means accepting that change is inevitable and choosing to face it with wisdom rather than fear. Ask yourself, what changes am I struggling to accept? How can I adapt to these changes in a positive way? What new possibilities might these changes bring? By embracing change rather than fearing it, we free ourselves to enjoy life fully. Final thoughts: true strength comes from within. At any age, resilience is not about avoiding hardship, it's about facing life's challenges with courage, wisdom, and grace. By focusing on what we can control, turning obstacles into opportunities, strengthening our minds, surrounding ourselves with positive influences, and accepting change, we cultivate the inner strength to thrive in any circumstance. So the next time life throws you a challenge, take a deep breath and remind yourself, you are stronger than you think. And that strength? It's always been inside you. The art of anticipating obstacles, how to stay resilient in an uncertain world. What if you could prepare for life's challenges before they happen? Life is unpredictable. One day, everything is running smoothly, and the next, you're dealing with unexpected health concerns, financial setbacks, or sudden changes in your family dynamics. While we can't predict every challenge, we can prepare our minds to face them with strength and confidence. For centuries, Stoic philosophers have taught the importance of anticipating obstacles, not to dwell on negativity, but to develop the mental resilience needed to navigate life's inevitable hardships. This practice, known as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, encourages us to think ahead, consider potential difficulties, and prepare for them before they arrive. As we age, this mindset becomes even more valuable. Whether it's adapting to physical changes, planning for financial security, or maintaining independence, having a proactive approach can help us face the future with wisdom and confidence. So, how can we train ourselves to anticipate obstacles and stay steady in life's storms? 1. Expect challenges, but don't fear them. Many people avoid thinking about difficulties because they assume it will make them anxious. But the opposite is true, mentally preparing for obstacles actually reduces fear and increases confidence. Consider these two scenarios. Person A never thinks about what they'll do if they face a financial setback. When an unexpected expense arises, they panic, feel overwhelmed, and struggle to make a clear decision. Person B has already considered the possibility of a financial setback. They have a savings plan, a budget, and a strategy in place. When the unexpected happens, they feel calm, prepared, and capable of handling the situation. Who is in a better position? Clearly, the person who planned ahead. By expecting challenges instead of fearing them, we remove their power to destabilize us. 2. Identify possible obstacles in your own life. The next step is to reflect on areas of your life where challenges could arise. This doesn't mean expecting the worst, it means preparing for the possibilities. Ask yourself: health, what steps can I take to maintain my mobility, strength, and independence? Finances, do I have a plan in place for unexpected expenses or changes in income? Family and relationships, how can I adapt if my loved ones move away or if my social circle changes? Daily living, if I ever need extra help with daily tasks, what support options are available? Once you've identified potential challenges, you can begin creating a plan to handle them effectively. 3. Create small, practical plans. Rather than worrying about obstacles, take action to prepare for them. The key is to focus on what you can control while accepting what you cannot. Here are some examples of small but powerful ways to prepare for life's uncertainties. Health, start a gentle daily exercise routine to maintain mobility and strength. Finances, build an emergency fund, even if it's small, to create a sense of financial security. Social life, stay engaged with your community, make new friends, and maintain strong relationships. Home and lifestyle, consider home modifications that may make life easier in the future, such as grab bars in the bathroom or fewer stairs. By making small preparations now, you'll feel more secure and in control when challenges do arise. 4. Develop a resilient mindset. It's not just about physical preparation, it's about training your mind to handle difficulties with grace. A. Reframe challenges as opportunities. When something difficult happens, try asking yourself: what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What is one positive thing that could come from this experience? Shifting your perspective from fear to opportunity can change the way you handle challenges. B. Stay present and focus on the now. Worrying about the future only drains energy. Instead, focus on what you can do today to stay strong, prepared, and engaged in life. Practice mindfulness by paying attention to the present moment. Take deep breaths when feeling overwhelmed. Remind yourself, you have faced difficulties before, and you have always found a way through them. Your past resilience is proof of your ability to handle whatever comes next. 5. Accept that change is a natural part of life. One of the greatest lessons of Stoicism is that change is inevitable but suffering is optional. Instead of resisting change, embrace it as part of life's natural flow. Consider how much has changed in the past 30, 40, or 50 years. Technology, culture, and even the way we communicate have transformed. But through it all, you have adapted. The same principle applies to aging and life's transitions. The more we accept and adapt, the more peaceful and empowered we become. Final thoughts: strength through preparation. Anticipating obstacles isn't about expecting the worst, it's about developing the inner strength and practical tools to handle whatever life brings your way. By expecting challenges, making small preparations, shifting your mindset, and accepting change, you can create a life of confidence, peace, and resilience. So, take a moment today to ask yourself, what small step can I take to prepare for the future? Because when you're ready for life's challenges, you're free to truly enjoy the present. Living in harmony with nature, finding purpose and peace in your later years. What if the secret to a fulfilling life was simpler than you thought? In today's fast-paced world, many people chase happiness in material possessions, social status, and external achievements. But as we grow older, we begin to realize that true contentment doesn't come from having more, but from aligning ourselves with what truly matters. For centuries, philosophers have taught that living in harmony with nature, both our own human nature and the world around us, is the key to a meaningful and peaceful life. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, believed that the more we align our actions with the natural flow of life, the less we struggle and the more we thrive. But what does it mean to live according to nature, and how can this philosophy help us embrace aging, change, and the later years of life with confidence and purpose? 1. Understanding what it means to live according to nature. Many people misunderstand this concept, thinking it means living in the wilderness or rejecting modern comforts. But in reality, living according to nature is about embracing life's natural cycles, making choices that align with our true selves, and finding peace in what we cannot change. At its core, this means recognizing the natural cycles of life, including aging, change, and loss. Focusing on what truly matters: wisdom, relationships, kindness, and personal growth. Letting go of resistance, accepting that life moves forward whether we fight it or not. Just as the seasons change, so do we. When we stop fighting this reality and instead learn to flow with it, life becomes easier, more meaningful, and far less stressful. 2. Accepting aging as a natural process, not a problem. In Western culture, aging is often seen as something to fear, avoid, or fight against. Society pushes anti-aging products, cosmetic surgeries, and endless attempts to stay young. But the truth is, aging is not something to fix, it's something to embrace. Think about nature. A tree doesn't resist losing its leaves in autumn. It simply prepares for a new cycle. A river doesn't struggle against its path, it flows effortlessly. Animals don't dwell on the past or fear the future, they live in the present moment. We, too, can learn to accept the natural process of life. Instead of focusing on what we've lost, we can shift our focus to what we've gained: wisdom, experience, and a deeper appreciation for life. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, said, "Don't seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happens as it does, and you will be at peace." Aging is not a loss, it's a transformation. When we accept and embrace it, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and allow ourselves to enjoy the present fully. 3. Living in alignment with your true self. One of the most powerful lessons of living according to nature is recognizing that happiness comes from being authentic. For years, many of us lived by societal expectations, working hard, raising families, fulfilling responsibilities. But now, in this stage of life, you have the freedom to fully be yourself. Ask yourself, what truly brings me joy? How do I want to spend my time? What values are most important to me? This is the time to let go of obligations that no longer serve you and focus on what makes you feel alive, whether that's creative pursuits, volunteering, deepening relationships, or simply enjoying quiet moments of reflection. The more we live in alignment with our values and passions, the more we cultivate inner peace and fulfillment. 4. Finding purpose in simplicity. In nature, everything serves a purpose, but nothing is excessive. The trees take only the water they need. Birds don't collect more food than necessary. Life flourishes when it's in balance. Modern society, however, often encourages us to seek more possessions, more achievements, more distractions. But in our later years, we have the opportunity to embrace a simpler, more meaningful way of living. How to cultivate simplicity for a more peaceful life. Declutter your life physically, emotionally, and mentally. Let go of unnecessary possessions, toxic relationships, and old regrets. Prioritize meaningful experiences, spending time with loved ones, enjoying nature, and engaging in activities that bring real joy. Focus on gratitude, appreciating the small, everyday moments that make life beautiful. When we simplify our lives, we create space for what truly matters. 5. Embracing community and interdependence. While independence is valuable, humans are naturally social beings. Just like trees in a forest support each other through their roots, we thrive when we stay connected to those around us. Ways to cultivate connection while maintaining independence. Engage in your community, join a local group, volunteer, or participate in social events. Strengthen relationships with family and friends, not out of obligation, but out of genuine connection. Be open to giving and receiving help. True strength is knowing when to support others and when to allow others to support you. Living in harmony with nature doesn't mean isolating yourself, it means finding a balance between self-sufficiency and meaningful relationships. Final thoughts: the wisdom of living naturally. To live according to nature is to accept life as it comes, embrace change with grace, and find joy in simplicity. It is about understanding that aging is not a decline, it's a transition. Happiness comes from living authentically, not from external achievements. Peace is found in letting go of resistance and flowing with life. By embracing these lessons, you can cultivate a life filled with wisdom, purpose, and deep contentment. So take a deep breath, step outside, and observe the world around you. Nature has been showing us the way all along. The strength of acceptance, finding peace in letting go. What if true freedom came from accepting life as it is? For much of our lives, we are taught to strive to reach for more, to push forward, to shape life according to our desires. But as we grow older, we begin to realize a powerful truth: not everything is within our control. In fact, the harder we resist life's natural course, the more stress and frustration we create for ourselves. Instead of trying to control the uncontrollable, what if we embraced acceptance as a path to peace? The power of letting go of what you can't control. In Stoic philosophy, there's a simple but profound principle: we cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. Aging, changes in health, the actions of others, these are realities of life. When we resist them, we suffer. When we accept them, we free ourselves from unnecessary worry. Ask yourself: am I spending energy trying to change something beyond my control? What would happen if I simply accepted this situation for what it is? How can I focus on what I can change instead? Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, it means choosing peace over resistance. How to cultivate acceptance in daily life. 1. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, view them as lessons. Ask: what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? 2. Practice gratitude for what you have. Rather than focusing on what's changed or been lost, shift your attention to what remains. Each day, reflect on the small joys of good health, meaningful relationships, or simple pleasures like a warm cup of coffee. 3. Let go of regret. Dwelling on the past only robs the present. Learn from your experiences, then release them. The best years of your life are the ones you choose to enjoy today. Final thoughts: peace comes from within. Acceptance isn't weakness, it's a strength. It allows us to live with grace, embrace change, and find peace in the present moment. When we stop fighting life and start flowing with it, we discover a deeper sense of freedom than we ever imagined. Mastering self-restraint, the key to a life of peace and purpose. Have you ever regretted saying or doing something in the heat of the moment? We've all been there, reacting impulsively, only to later wish we had paused and chosen a different response. As we grow older, we begin to see the true value of self-restraint, the ability to pause, reflect, and act with wisdom rather than impulse. In a world that encourages instant gratification and emotional reactions, learning to control our words, actions, and desires can bring us a deeper sense of peace, stability, and fulfillment. Why self-restraint matters more than ever. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." As we age, we gain something that younger generations often lack: perspective. We understand that not every argument is worth having, not every desire needs to be satisfied, and not every challenge requires an immediate reaction. Practicing self-restraint allows us to maintain inner peace instead of being controlled by external circumstances. Strengthen relationships by responding with patience and understanding. Make wiser decisions by thinking before we act or speak. The ability to pause before reacting can transform not only how we experience life but also how we are remembered by those around us. How to cultivate self-restraint in daily life. 1. Pause before responding. Before reacting emotionally, take a deep breath and ask, "Is this worth my energy? How do I want to be remembered in this moment?" 2. Delay gratification. Not every impulse needs to be satisfied immediately. Whether it's food, spending, or speaking, practice waiting before indulging. This small habit builds discipline over time. 3. Focus on what you can control. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control your response. Choose calm over conflict, patience over frustration, and wisdom over impulse. Final thoughts: strength through restraint. True power doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from mastering ourselves. By practicing self-restraint, we create a life filled with greater peace, stronger relationships, and lasting wisdom. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting content coming up. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts, I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like to support me in creating more quality content. Thank you for watching.